same place, but some people feel comfortable while others don't. And the difference often starts with something very small. Skipping a line, ignoring a signal, those tiny choices can completely change the atmosphere. People usually think, it's fine if it's just me. But the moment everyone thinks that way, the space stops being comfortable for anyone. So in the end, there's only one choice: follow the rules or ignore them. Let's look at what happens when people follow the rules. This is the choice people make when they think about the space, not just themselves. In Korea, lining up just happens. Stand still for a second and suddenly you're in a line. At the subway, it's even more precise. The line is already there before the doors even open. People get off first, then others step in. This order is followed almost like it's a law. Traffic lights work the same way. Even with no cars around, people just wait. And this is where foreigners pause. You could cross in 3 seconds. Why are you still standing there? Inside the subway, things get quieter. If a phone rings, people usually text instead of answering. On escalators, there's an unspoken rule: stand on the right, leave the left side open. The funny part, nobody explains this. Everyone just knows. If you're in a hurry, you take the left side. Fast and slow naturally separate without conflict. Even walking has a pattern. Most people keep to the right without thinking. When boarding a bus, the line stays intact. Cutting in feels like a public offense. And no one is forcing this. You just feel it if you break the flow. That's why the space feels surprisingly comfortable. You don't have to think as much. You can predict what others will do next, and that alone reduces stress. Of course, there's a downside. Sometimes it feels a bit too strict. You start thinking, do we really need to wait here? But most people still wait. Standing out feels more uncomfortable than waiting. So the space stays stable, and eventually that stability becomes normal. In the end, it comes down to this: a little inconvenience for a lot of comfort. Now let's look at what happens when people ignore the rules. This is the choice driven by immediate convenience. There's a line, but you just go ahead. Speed becomes the only rule. At the subway, it's even more direct. People step in before others get off. Traffic signals? If there are no cars, just go. And honestly, it feels great at first. Nice, saved a few seconds. But things start to break down at the escalator. Standing and moving begin to mix. Block the left side, and everything slows down. Someone behind you is definitely thinking, you're standing in the wrong spot. Walking becomes unpredictable. People keep adjusting to avoid collisions. At this point, it feels like a game. Dodge the human traffic. Subway entrances get chaotic. Getting off and getting on happen at the same time. One wrong move and that's it. The whole flow collapses. Sure, there are advantages. It's faster, easier, and more flexible. But that freedom doesn't last long. It quickly turns into stress. Small things start to annoy you. Why is everyone like this? Eventually, trust disappears. You assume no one will follow the rules. And that's when order breaks completely. Now it's just survival mode. To foreigners, this feels confusing. Is this how it's supposed to work? Over time, it gets exhausting. That small shortcut turns into a bigger problem. Individually, it might feel like a win, but for everyone else, it's a loss. So in the end, it's simple: a quick gain for long-term discomfort. In Korea, these behaviors are more than rules. They're part of the culture. That's why public spaces feel completely different. They're either maintained or slowly fall apart. And the difference isn't big. It starts with just one small action. So the answer is simple. A space isn't shaped by rules. It's shaped by behavior. Follow the rules and everyone benefits. Ignore them and everyone pays the price.